Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Kim, and welcome back to Project It. We have now reached It Welcome to Derry, and we're going to be talking about It Welcome to Derry Episode 1, just called The Pilot. But I'm here with Jacob Collins. We both have seen the episode, and man, I'm going to just say this show has started off hot, like literally within the first scene. I mean, Collins, would you like to talk about it, or shall I?
You sound better to say it. Let's let you hear it.
So there's no way that I can describe every single thing that happens, so here goes. One of the main one of there's this little boy in Derry sneaks into a movie, runs away because the security guard chases him out. He hitchhikes with this family, is like, oh, they seem nice enough. Well, no, they're an it family, and well, the wife is pregnant with a it fetus, like it as a baby, I guess. And not only do we see that she's pregnant, she gives birth in the car, and it's
You see
literally
everything.
you see everything.
Like it
That's the
comes
best
out of her
way.
vagina, and you're just like the scene in Bride of Chucky. The birth in Bride of Chucky was not as bad as this scene.
No, it's some of the most mental stuff I've seen in a TV show in a very long time. And then the thing has wings, it flies all over the car, and then it takes the head off the little boy, and he had this pacifier that he would suck on. I thought it was like a ring pop kind of thing.
That's
No,
what I did too.
it was like a pacifier, and the pacifier flies out of the car, goes down and down and down into the water, and then it transitions into It Welcome to Derry, the opening credits. And I'm like, this was in the first 5 minutes. Andy Machete, like, wow, you are just going full out with this, aren't you? Just nutso stuff.
I mean, this was one of the, this was a literally. I was sitting there watching this, going, like, there's no way. Like when she, I was like, I knew like because the trailers kind of give it away. Like the car ride full of is Pennywise in disguise, and so we're sitting there watching this, and I will say this: when I saw like like the mom is pregnant, and I'm like, oh god, is she about to give birth? And then all of a sudden, then you see like her, it's like coming out of her panty. Then she just you see everything. You're just like, I'm just like, this would never happen on TV. This would never
No,
happen to me in the movies. In the movies, they would never. Like, nah, it's too much. The NBA would be like, nah, man, you got to change that. There's no like
you see all of it, folks. Like nothing is hidden. It just it's
you see
genuinely
a
like
clown
jaw
come out of her
dropping
vagina.
stuff.
They do like all right. So if you, I'm glad we watched it chapter 1 and 2 before him because Pennywise usually likes to do a thing where he'll sit there and screw around with the person before then he'll when he does this, he doesn't say nothing,
Yeah.
which is that's when he goes for the kill because he's like, I'm done playing, I'm ready to eat. And so they do that in the scene, like literally, like they're like just have like that the creatures flying around. The kid's like so scared, he's like, ah, and he's just sucking on his pacifier like the baby from The Simpsons. And then he's just like has his ears closed, and all of a sudden, that's when everything stops. I'm like, oh, he's dead now because that means Pennywise is done screwing with him. And then all of a
Yep.
sudden, boom, kills him. I'm just like,
That scene is just amazing, and then we get to the actual meat of the story. And this episode is kind of, I think generally we both loved this episode. I really loved it, as gruesome as it was in that opening, but it sets up. I thought it was setting up a good amount of story, like the '50s version of the Losers Club. I'm here for this, and then they all die. So Machete's kind of playing with us like Pennywise would, if you really think about it.
yeah, like you think this is the okay, this is the new loser club. And then, no, these are not the stars of the show. You're like, they die in the first episode. Like all of them die at the end.
You what?
Like, and literally, the saddest thing is the little boy didn't even want to bring brought his sister along, and it was just like babysitting, and then she dies too. I'm like the thing that had really literally had me was the little girl. The only like there's like two people that survived this. Like it was the projectionist's daughter, and then the girl, and then the other girl. But like the Jewish kid, and then the Italian kid, they both get, and then the Italian kid's sister, they just die.
The girl whose dad is in the pickle jars, she ends the episode with another person's hand in her hand. That was another gruesome one right there.
Like and like they're playing. Apparently, the theme around this is the Music Man. Like that's they're watching that movie, The Music Man.
Hmm.
And so, like, literally, and it's apparently like the plot is supposed to be relevant to the story of this, of similar to it. That's I think that's why Andy Muschietti chose it because the Music Man has the same theme about a con artist, about such someone that tricks people and children.
Other than the Losers Club getting eaten, the biggest story thread we've gotten so far is the thread of Leroy Hanlon, who is played by Jovan Adepo. I didn't recognize him at first. I did a little research. Turns out he's been in a few movies that I've genuinely liked. He was Denzel Washington's son in Fences. He was in Babylon, the Chazelle one. He was the guy that was in the band and he had to put on the shoe polish because they needed blacker blackface, I guess. That was him, and he was great. And
Wasn't he
there
also in The
definitely
Stand?
he was also in Watchmen for HBO, so he's been around, and we've all seen him at least once. But I thought he was great. He's got a few like interesting things being set up. Like he gets attacked by Harry Warden from My Bloody
My
Valentine,
bloody bell.
three of them. Like give us the plans or we'll shoot. And I just love the moment where he's like, "You're gonna have to pull that trigger." I love that. That was so cool.
He
Having
gets
it just
attacked. He gets attacked by the 1981. He gets attacked by the Jensen Ackles one from 2009, and then he gets attacked by the eventual Blumhouse one.
the eventual Blumhouse one, yes. But and then he's got a friend, and I'm part of me is worried to like, oh, is he gonna be like a closet racist? But no, it seems like they have a good relationship. I hope they have a good relationship going forward because I don't want it to be like, oh, I've hated you the whole time, go away. Like, no, I don't want that.
You know, one thing I will say, I think the military storyline was not my favorite. You know, like I said, like I like the Loser Club because I'm like at first I was watching this going, do we really need to have two storylines going on at once? Can't we just have the kids? Because I mean, the whole thing is Pennywise. The kids don't really see the like only adults don't see the clown, so it's mostly kids that see the clown. So I'm just like, do we really need this storyline? And I honestly, that's the only thing I'm like. But I watched it. I enjoyed what I saw of it.
I see what you're saying, but like in
Um,
the miniseries, there were several story threads that eventually just met in the middle, and same thing happened with it one. So I'm thinking there's going to be something to where it's like it's going to start in one place and then it's going to meet. That's what I think
also,
is going to happen.
also the guy who plays Lucius Fox on Gotham, he plays a guy named Dick Halloran in this show that
That's right. Yeah, he was in The Shining. Yes, Dick
that
Halloran was.
yeah he plays like a guy. Yeah, you saw him briefly in this, which I'm like, well, I guess he uses the Shining ability to talk to people in the show.
I mean, we already have turtle imagery everywhere, so they're going deep into the Stephen King isms with this one.
Turtle, turtle. Watch it be Dana Carvey in the turtle suit.
Oh dear God,
Yeah,
I
that's a
love
Master of Disguise reference if you've ever seen that.
I love turtles. But I think overall, at the end of the day, I think where it's sitting now, it's a very solid start. I really enjoyed this episode.
What did you think about the Flash comic? There's a Batman comic with Clayface,
You
and
know
then
what?
there's a Flash comic.
I forgot to ask you about that. You know what? I thought that was a nice little Easter egg. The Batman one was the
A
Flash
project he
one.
directed and a project he'll probably never direct.
It's both.
Someone said that no, he took a shot at Ezra Miller because like someone because he said the kid's reading a Batman a Flash comic, and then the guy grabs a comic and says, "This evil trash," and throws it in the garbage. And some people are like, "Oh shit."
I I think that was a subtle dig at one Ezra Miller. I could be looking too deep into it. I usually do, but at the same time, I mean, look at the mess that movie was and just say, "Come on."
He's like, well, our movie would have probably been successful if one particular star wasn't an asshole going around terrorizing people every day.
Who shall not be named, but let's just say their name rhymes with Desra Diller.
But
But
yeah.
anyway,
Let me ask
anyway,
you this: what did you think though? Like, didn't you think there was gonna be blood coming out of that sink whenever the little girl was looking in the sink talking? And you got to go
that's what I
home.
thought too. I'm kind of glad they didn't though, because that would have been like, oh, you're reheating your nachos again. Like, no, just seeing the fingers like come out, I thought that was creepy.
What about what do you think about I did like when they went to the library because I'm oh there's a library and everything and like everything. I will say though I will say compared to the first movie, there feels like there's way more CGI in this than the last two movies because like I just noticed like when they're looking at the sunset and everything, I'm like that's CGI, or I'm looking at them like that's CGI and that's CGI, and I'm just like I just wish it was a little bit more practical because I feel like you could tell when it's fake when it's not fake.
I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from. There are definitely some shots where like, especially when they're like up top there in their lair, like in that bell tower looking place, I could definitely notice like, okay, this is very clearly a green screen. But I guess that's rather the reality of like most shows and movies nowadays.
Did you think though those men? I thought they were racist at first. The ones in the ones dressed like Harry Warden. Like I thought they were just racist at first. I were like, because I guess because he told that white officer, "You're gonna like to salute him," and I guess he's like, "Oh, well, I'll teach you."
I mean, the one guy, Masters, I feel like he may definitely be a racist. I guess we'll just have to see. But it definitely they were definitely implying that. Again, it could be those guys could be someone completely different. But I mean, at the same time, they wouldn't spend as much time with that if they weren't going to like merge those two together.
If it quacks like a racist and acts like a racist, what is it? I was telling you off camera. I said I feel like Pennywise. I feel like maybe he's too weak because he just. I feel like this is like the beginning of the 27 years. So I feel like this is where this is like he just woke up. So I feel like maybe he has to rebuild his like figure again. So I feel like maybe the baby is like that. That's why he's using like these forms so he can kill more children and more and eat them, so he can absorb. And I feel like because at the end of the episode you see like a bigger hand, and I'm just like, oh, does that mean maybe he's like forming into like the clown now? Like,
And also thing to keep in mind is that they're doing multiple seasons and they're going further into the past with each one. So you're to your point, it could be the beginning or the tail end of the 27, and that's when we're going to see Pennywise come back again. But it's just the first episode, so we're just going to have to see.
I know for all I know, we're like, oh wow, I like that, but watch by episode 2, I'm like, man, we were way off.
Yeah,
Which I mean, I'm hoping the momentum stays well. I'm hoping that the whole episode isn't like my biggest fear when I was watching it was it's going to be a drama about a family dealing with racism and a hard time, and Pennywise is just like barely there, and it's just the background character. I don't want that. I want there to be everybody's scared of this clown. He's terrorizing the town. I want that, and I feel like I'm getting that. Like okay, because you just saw like everyone dies at the end of this episode, and you're just like, wow. And we haven't even get to like the trailer, the stuff we saw in the trailer with the family. We haven't even got to that stuff yet.
exactly. But I think we just have one episode to go off of right now. Clearly, like this is sitting at an 8.2 on IMDb, so this is going over very well. And Max must be very confident in this because the next episode, in lieu of Sunday, is going up Halloween night. So very clearly, like they have like some like push behind this, and very very strong first episode. And knock on wood, the rest of this season is just as good. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't necessarily want to give this episode a score because I feel like grading individual episodes. I mean, if I had to like
That's
force my
my score
hand,
that we did with Peacemaker.
that's true. Yeah, force my hand. I probably have to give this like a 9 out of 10.
About I would say 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. Well, I pass it off to all of you. What did you think of episode 1 of It Welcome to Derry? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to read what you have to say. Do you have any predictions for what is you think is going to happen and what you want to happen?
I
So
think a
let us.
giant turtle's gonna show up at the end, and the clown's gonna fight a giant turtle.
You know what's going to happen? Gamera. I mean, Gamera is a giant turtle. You just never know.
Imagine like all of a sudden like Dick Halloran just ends up in a hotel, Like he touches it, and then the clown shows him in a hotel, and Jack Nicholson with an axe.
But Collins, what do you have coming?
Um, So I just finished editing the review for the Black Phone, and then this week my review for I got a watch party tomorrow night I'm doing with Jacob Martin, where we're gonna watch Halloween 4, and then of course I got the Black Phone review, and then Halloween Resurrection review with you coming Friday. So yeah,
Yep, link down below. Give them a subscribe over there. For Collins, my name is Ryan Cam. We will see you all in the next one, and you'll float too.